This video will cover the most important graph on Faire, as well as the 3 most important numbers on Faire as well. So if you're interested in retailer LTV and what that means in graph format, a breakdown of marketplace orders, repeat purchases from retailers, and time and days between orders, then check out this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So most important graph on Faire is this graph right here. You're probably thinking, why is that? Well, I can't tell you how many of our clients speak to us about not wanting a low minimum order quantity. They sit there, they see, why do you have a 0 minimum order quantity? Well, outside of the fact it's the most clicked button on Faire, I'll do another video on that another time. It's because once you bring retailers in, they're going to keep coming back. This is measured by customer lifetime value or retailer lifetime value. What we've done here is we've pulled together all of our clients across a bunch of different verticals. We've put them into the one sheet and we've worked out what is the average lifetime value of that client over time, or retailer over time. And what you can see here is quite clearly the average first purchase is around, when you kind of start at 0 days, is around $250 or pounds, depending on what currency you're looking at. But at the end of 12 months, that ends up at £3,500 pounds. And that differs very widely across a lot of brands. But the most important thing is that you are getting a ginormous increase in sales 16 times from when you have that first purchase all the way through to the lifetime value in the end of 12 months. And so get people in, get them coming back, and that is what you're going to see with this graph. You're probably also sitting there you've just had some great success on your arrivals. You've just seen your reviews go absolutely down to the bottom, but then you're thinking, oh, this is not going to be worth it. The most important graph is to focus on this graph, because every couple of months, that retailer that came to you to begin with is going to keep coming back, and you're going to make more sales and more money the longer you stick with Faire. So stick with it and you will see this graph yourself. Then I want to talk about the most important numbers on Faire, and they are right here. So we tell brands to bring retailers in regularly, and that's through Faire Direct. Some of these brands here have been here from the very beginning, and they have acquired a ginormous amount of brands, retailers for brands. But as you can see, even with all of that money that Faire put in at the very beginning, most of their sales are from Faire marketplace orders. And that's because Faire does a tremendous job at giving you guys retailers if you have a great brand. The second most important number is the order total from repeat purchases. So this takes all of your sales and works out what is your repeat purchases and how much of that makes up the total order volume. And as you can see, this really ranges between 90 to 95%, but across all our clients, it averages at 91.5%. What does this show you? It shows you that once you bring a retailer in, on average, right, they're going to be spending 10 times that initial purchase on an ongoing basis. That can be as much as 20 times. And that just shows you that once you bring someone in, they're going to order more and they're going to order bigger on an ongoing basis, and you're going to make more money. So again, stick with it. The third section is the average days between orders and the median days between orders. Now, what this takes into account is it looks at the retailers and works out on average how often are they purchasing. And it's bang on for the median at 60 days or 120 days on average. Now, the median's important because you're going to get a whole bunch of retailers that maybe purchase once, purchase twice, purchase 3 times, don't come back. However, those repeat purchase customers that keep coming back on an ongoing basis skew the data towards the median, which is where you need to be focusing. So engaging customers or your retailers every 2 months is super important because that's when they're about to order again. The second section is then looking at the average days between orders, and that kind of skews much higher. But you really want to be targeting customers, we think, really between 50 days to 120 days, but we try to focus it on 60 days. What do we do around that time? Well, we've got custom message segments and more that we give our clients at candidfounders.com, but you can also, of course, work that out yourself. It's super easy. Just make sure you're messaging those people after they've ordered 60 days time. This is the reason why Faire also gives you the ability to chase those customers on automation at 60 days. But if you're doing it at a far higher and greater rate than Faire is doing through the automations, you can do it yourself here and you're going to make a whole lot more money. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. If you get this most important graph in, you get retailers in and you get them coming back, you are going to have a ginormous amount of sales and your retailers are going to make a lot of money as well. Of course, naturally, but this graph really brings it into stark contrast of how small retailers start and how big they can get at the end of 12 months. And this is just 12 months. We're not just talking over time. We have retailers that spend tens and tens and tens of thousands with businesses every single year, and that's what you want to be aiming for. On top of that, you then need to be focusing on these important numbers, noting that Faire Direct isn't going to be as big as Marketplace. So Faire is bringing you 5 times the amount of customers that you are bringing it on average. Your order total from repeat purchases is again the most important thing. Every time you bring a first purchase in, you're going to get between 10 to 20 times more purchases when they come back and repeat. And then you need to hit them every 60 days with a follow-up, with a retailer email, with a message, and you can do that super easily. It does take a lot of work, and that's why we've built our team to make sure that this happens on an ongoing basis. So guys, I hope you liked this video. The most important numbers and the best graph that I've ever seen was in this video. If you've got any questions, leave that in the comments below. We'd love to have a chat with you about them. And please, of course, like, subscribe, follow for more. Please also share what we're trying to do with every brand that you know. Obviously, it does help us kind of grow as a business, but we can also bring more information at the entire Faire level, like what we've brought here. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.